In this video, we will go through an advanced VLOOKUP example in Google Sheets involving multiple criteria, multiple matches, and ranges. This is the third and final part of our video series on VLOOKUP in Google Sheets. If you're not comfortable with the basic and intermediate level VLOOKUP, I suggest you watch those two videos first. Links will be in the description. And if you're new to the channel, please consider supporting me by subscribing and turning on the notifications, because I'll be sharing a wide range of courses on this channel from beginner to advanced level that you will typically find in paid training sessions only. With that being said, let's jump into our example without any delay. Here is our main dataset for the advanced level problem that we are going to discuss in this video. We have categories, regions, agent names, years, and the sales data from January to December for 2024 and 2023. And unlike our basic and intermediate level problems where we only had one or two search keys, here we have multiple criteria, and within these multiple criteria we also have multiple matching values as well, plus we have multiple ranges as well for 2024 and 2023. And on top of that, we have additional data on our next sheet, which is this monthly commission structure and annual bonus structure. And our task is to find out the monthly sales value for the phones made in the North region by a specific agent during a specific year and the month. So we have 5 criteria right here. And once we have find out the sales value, our next task is to retrieve the commission rate from this monthly commission structure table. And within this monthly commission structure table, again, we have multiple products, and for those multiple products we have different commission rates as well. Let's go ahead and try to apply the VLOOKUP formula in this case. I'm gonna type VLOOKUP and it's asking for the search key, and here is the problem, because in this case we do not have a single search key. We want to look up for the multiple search keys or the multiple criteria here. So to handle this situation, we will use the if and AND functions together with the VLOOKUP function. So let's go ahead and I will write if and AND, and then I will check that if the region is equal to North and the agent is equal to Alex and the year is equal to 2024. And if all of these conditions are true, then we want to VLOOKUP the value of phones in our main dataset right here. And in the index argument, we can use a match function that we have already discussed. The search key is January, and the range for this search key is right here. And I will put 0 because we want the exact match. Close the parenthesis. The index argument is handled by the match function. Then I will write false and hit enter, and it will return the 7470, which is exactly our sales value for the month of January based on the criteria that we have provided in the formula. And now I'm going back to this formula and pressing the F2 button. And now here is the problem, because for example, if we go here and change this to, for example, the agent name to Bob, it says false, means it cannot find this value. But if we go to our main dataset, we can see that Bob is actually selling the phones in the North region, and we should expect 20076, but it gives the error. And that's because we have only checked for these conditions only. And if you want to check for additional conditions, we actually want to give the formula the further conditions to check. So I'm going to come here after copying the formula. I'm going to press comma sign here, and now in the argument where it says value if false, I will paste this formula, and I will just change the agent name to Bob, keeping all others same. And now if the value is false, I want to return not applicable. And then I will close the parenthesis, and you can see that even after changing the name, it is still giving us the 7470, but we should expect 20076 here as the answer. And that's exactly what's the limitation of the VLOOKUP formula, because VLOOKUP only looks up the values based on a unique ID. And as we have discussed in the start of the video, we have multiple matches and multiple criteria in our problem. So let's go ahead in this problem, and I will show you another trick to solve this problem, and that's also by using the VLOOKUP formula. So I'm going to switch back to my main dataset, and I will insert a column, and I will call this unique key, or the unique identifier. And then I'm going to concatenate all of these criteria into a single cell by using a concatenate formula. So string 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's it.
And now just double click the fill handle to fill the formula down. Switch back to our result sheet, and then I will again apply the VLOOKUP formula. And this time I will choose that unique key as our search key by again using the concatenate formula here and choosing them as our search key. Then in the range we will again choose this data set here, and we will do the same thing for the index using the match function, looking up for the January. In this row, search type is 0 because we want the exact match, and then I will write false, hit enter, and now you can see it's correctly returning us the 20076, which is our sales value for the North region of Agent Bob for phones during the year 2024 and the month of January. And now if I go up here and I just change this to, for example, tablets, it gives the error because Agent Bob is not selling tablets in the North region, as we can also see it here, that there is no Bob agent in the North region selling the tablets. Now if let me change this to, for example, to Alex, right? Change this to South and then change this to Alex, and it will give us 10987, which is right here. So now there is another problem because there are some agents who are not selling a particular product in a particular region. To handle this situation, we can use the if error formula, and if there is an error, it should return, for example, agent is not selling in this region, right? So now if I, for example, change this to cameras, it returns agent is not selling in this region. So that was the two ways through which we can solve this problem. And at this point of time, you really need to think like a professional advanced level Google Sheets or Excel user to understand the data and find out whether or not using a particular formula in a particular situation would be suitable. And if you ask me, my answer is no, because each time we have to create a unique key. And there will be the situation where even these unique keys will no longer be unique. For example, if you have a large data set here, and when, for example, a same agent is selling a same product in all of the regions, in that case, this formula will again not work. I will delete these two formulas, and now I'm going to show you an index and match formula, which in my opinion is the most suitable to use in this situation. In the reference, I will choose the sales values as my range, and then in the row I will use the match function, and the search key I will write 1. You might be thinking why I have written 1, because there is no 1 in our main data set. So 1 is written here because 1 acts as a true false operator to check for the multiple conditions, and after writing 1 and putting the comma, I will open up the brackets and then I will check these conditions one by one. And for example, in the categories, if in these values, if anything is equal to the cameras, close the parentheses and I will put an asterisk sign. Now this asterisk sign will act as an array operator to check for the multiple conditions. And again, I'm gonna open the bracket and now I will check for this second criteria here. And I will say, if any of these values is equal to the South region, and again, if any of these values is equal to this agent, and finally if any of these values is equal to the year that we want here. And close the parenthesis and I'm gonna press 0 and close this bracket, and now we are left with the column argument. Now what this match formula does is that it will look up the row where all of these conditions are fulfilled. In the final column argument, I will again use the match function, and here I will simply go January and just like that, shift this, press O, and it has given us the error. Now let's see the error. It says did not find the value 1 in match evaluation. What this error means is that it cannot find any row where all of these 4 criteria are fulfilled. So we just need to go here and change it to phones and then North and Alex. It's returning us 10950, but here I think there is a little bit problem because we should expect 7470 here because that's the sales value of for January. So I think that our ranges are not synchronized because the index range and match range must be same. So let's see here, we have G2 to Q23, but in the match our range is starting from F. So it looks like that here we have missed one column, so let's delete this and I'm gonna put F here, and now it's working correctly. So that was the solution for this problem using the index function. And now we are moving on to our next task, which is to retrieve the commission rate from this monthly commission structure table. And here we also have the multiple products and multiple commission rates. At this point of time, I really want you to think like a professional to find out what formula in this case would be more suitable. We cannot use Vlookup here simply because here we have the multiple matching values as well. So this thing we have already discussed. So we are going to use the if and functions here to retrieve these values. Let's go ahead and I will start typing if formula. And first of all, let's understand there are two determinants of our commission rate. First is the product and second is the sales value. So we need to check if this category is, for example, phones, and our sales value is less than or equal to 10,000, then we want to return 1.5. And if the category is phones, for example, and our sales is greater than $10,000, then we want to return 3%, and so on. So let's go ahead and in the logical expression, I will say if this is equal to phones, then I write another if formula here. And if the sales value is less than or equal to $10,000, then it's asking what to do then. So then return 1.5%. Put a comma, and now it's asking what if this value is not true. So we will say again if and this is equal to phones and this sales value is greater than 10,000 or the sales value is less than or equal to 20,000. Then what if this condition is true? Then we want to return 3% here, right? And what if the value is false? If all of these conditions are not true, that means our value must be greater than 20,000. So in that case, we just want to return 4.5%. Just hit enter, and now you can see it has returned 1.50 because our sales value is less than $10,000. Now if I just change to, for example, 11,000, you can see it has changed the commission rate. And if I change this to, for example, 20,000, it has kept the same values. If I just change $20,001, it has changed the commission rate to 4.5%. But the problem here is that we have done this only for the phones categories. We have three more categories left here: tablets, PC, and cameras. I will solve this problem in a simple manner so that you can understand. So for the tablets, I'm just going to change its name here by copying and pasting the formula. And then I will also change the commission rate here: 2%, 3.5%, and 5%, just like that. And now just returning false because there is no value in here that's equal to tablets. So we will continue and later on we will fix that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for PC and just change this to 2.5%, 4%, and 6%. And I will just fast forward this. So now we have done all the percent, but we do not need these rates just like that. We need this rate in a single cell. Now we will just simply go and merge these formulas together. I will press F2 here, and now I will delete these two brackets. And now it says, for example, the value is false, and then I will come to our main if formula here, and there it says value of true argument is handled. So I will press a comma, and then I will paste this formula right here. So don't worry, right now it's giving error, but we will fix that. Again, I will copy the formula for PC, and then I will come back here. Sorry, just like that, the comma, and that's it, bracket here. And now finally it's asking if all of these conditions are not true, then what should I do? Then there is no other possibility other than our input error, right? So we will just write this and close our brackets. That's it. Okay, and it's giving some pairs error. I think just because of these equal signs that we have put inside the formula, I'm just gonna remove them. There is still some error right here. Okay, now it's working perfectly. So I'll just start this and paste this formula right here. And now we can multiply this to find the commission value. And again, we can go to this cell, go to data, and then data validation, add a rule. And here we can add our 4 criterias: phones, tablets, PC and cameras so that we do not have to write them manually each time. The data validation or drop down we have already discussed in the basic or intermediate level example. So if you are not comfortable with this concept, I recommend you to watch that videos as well, because all of these problems are connected. And now, for example, if I go to change the tablets, for example PCs, now it's giving us some errors here because of the fact that the agent Alex is not selling PCs in the north region. So we also want to handle this situation by putting the if error function here and say not selling. Okay, and again I will also put the if error function here just in case we have an error. So I will just put 0 here, right? And now this is working perfectly. So now if we change this to, for example, let's choose anything. Let's choose this PC, East, and Alex, and now let's test this. So I'm gonna choose PC and I'm gonna choose East, then Alex, and 2023. So our sales value is 21222, which is correctly returned by the formula. And then for the PCs, if the sales are greater than 21,000, our commission rate is 6%. That we can also verify from here. And finally, here is the commission calculation. And we can use the same logic to calculate our annual bonus here as well. I'm not going to solve this problem here. I will just show you how to bring the annual sales value based on these 3 criteria here. So here we are going to use the sum and filter function inside of the sum. So in the range, I'm going to choose all of these values because this is our sum range. Fix that. In the condition 1, we just want the phones here is equal to phones, and then we want to check the Alex. Let's go here. This is equal to, for example, Alex, and finally this is equal to 2024, and it will return us the sales value for the phones made by Alex in the year 2024. And let's go ahead and verify this. I will put the sum, and I will sum all the sales of phones made by Alex during the year 2024. Let's go here just like that, and okay, and that's exactly the same value as you can see here. I will leave this part to you, and I will provide the link to this sheet in the description, and I will let you calculate the annual bonus rate from this table. I want you to try this, and if you face any problems, feel free to ask me in the comment section. And that's all for our advanced VLOOKUP Google Sheets examples.
Feel free to comment if you have any questions, and if you find it helpful, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe for more valuable content. I will see you in the next video.